Hi, this is Stephanie, and thank you so much for taking the time to join me for this message and this time that we can spend in communion together. I'm truly appreciative and so grateful to have this opportunity. So we are experiencing changing and challenging times. How can we, as spiritual beings having a human experience, learn to align with the true nature, the abundant nature, the loving nature, the powerful nature, the healthy and whole nature that we truly are in the midst of uncertainty and fear that has run rampant? So I really prayed about this and sought for answers. And interestingly enough, I believe the message came to me from a Serbian proverb. And so I want to share that proverb with you today because I think it can guide us and inspire us in living an abundant spiritual life, even in the midst of chaos. So the proverb is this: be noble, for you are made of stars. Be humble, for you are made of earth. And that is the true nature of who we are. So I want to explore how we can apply this in our lives right now, how we can be this nobility of the stars and also embody the humility of earth. Because I believe when we do that, we truly bring that abundant nature, that creative nature, that loving nature of who we are into this world. And that's what this world needs right now. So first, let's talk about this nobility of the stars that we are. How can we acknowledge that? How do we bless our stars? And the first way that we can do that, I believe, is through a daily practice of meditation. Now, meditation doesn't mean trying to clear your mind or sit in any particular fashion or do any type of mantra or chant. You can, but meditation is a very fluid, it's a very unique experience. It's individual specific, and your meditation practice can change from day to day, and it should. Meditation is your time to commune with spirit. It's to be open and receptive to the divine. Meditation means you withdraw your attention from what's going on out there in the world and you tune to what's going on within you. Because greater is the spirit that is within you than the fear that is within the world. And meditation allows us to feel that greatness, which is far more vast than any of the fear. So meditation can be just watching nature. Meditation can be listening to music. Maybe meditation is dance or movement for you. Because of all the emphasis on good hand washing lately, I use my hand washing time as an affirmation or meditation time. So instead of counting to 20 or just mindlessly doing a chore, I use this time to engage myself fully. So as I'm washing my hands, instead of singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, I have a little meditation that I use, which goes like this. Spirit, Spirit, here you are, shining through me like a star. And then I repeat that several times. So I use that time to be fully present, to affirm what is true, and also to take a task into a spiritual practice. And it really works. You also do affirmation when I'm vacuuming, when I'm washing my hair. I sing the old Miss Clairol jingle, only I change it up. I'm gonna wash that fear right out of my hair. I'm gonna wash that fear right out of my hair. Doesn't help with grays, at least not yet, but I'm free of fear. I'm looking fine. So meditation is important, but make meditation fun. Make meditation something that soothes you, that centers you, but that allows you to really remember the truth of who you are, to bless the stars that are inside you. So meditation is an important daily practice. The other way that I believe that we as spiritual students can connect with that spirit that is within us, that stardust that comprises us, is to engage in daily acts of creativity. I do not think that creativity is a luxury. I believe more than ever in this time in our history, creativity is a necessity. Daily acts of creativity are truly necessary in this world. So creativity doesn't mean that you get out a paint or a canvas. Creativity doesn't mean that it's restricted to people who are artists. Creativity doesn't have to look any certain way. Maybe creativity means singing. Maybe creativity is putting together a puzzle. Maybe your creativity is organizing a closet that needs to be resorted or cleared out. Maybe creativity means that you tell a story to a group of kids. Creativity isn't restricted to one practice. Creativity is a divine expression of your true power, because we are created in the likeness and image of Spirit. And so when we claim that power of creation within us, we open up more fully to the Spirit that we are. We can innovate new ideas. We can come up with ways to connect. We do not limit ourselves or restrict ourselves when we are aligned with our creative nature. We need that right now. So take time each day to do something and piddle with your hands, or doodle on your paper, or fold up a paper airplane and see how far you can make it go. It doesn't have to be serious. It doesn't have to look any certain way. Create, because that honors the true spirit of you. So each day we bless our stars by meditating and by creating. Another way that I believe we can connect with that true nature that we are, that spirit that we are, is by spending time with animals. Animals are some of the most powerful and wonderful and genuine spiritual teachers that we can find in this earth. So by being with animals, you align yourself with unconditional love. You're able to experience a being, a spiritual being in a physical body who lives in harmony with nature. Animals don't worry about guilt. They don't check in on the news. They're not paying attention to what's going on in the world. They're in tune with nature and honoring what they need too. Yesterday I was listening to the birds singing, and they were singing really loud, and they were singing really early in the morning. But I didn't mind, because it was in them to sing. They felt the song and they shared it. And then when they're hungry, they go eat the worms. And then when they're tired, they go nap in the trees. We need to learn this way of being. Well, we don't need to learn to eat worms, because that's yucky, but, well, you know what I mean. But by paying attention to animals, we can remember how we are truly created to be. So each day, cuddle your cat, or pet your dog, or feed your fish, or watch the birds outside, or look at pictures of butterflies, but somehow, in some way, connect with those animals in our world, because they will help you remember what is true. So meditate, create, spend time with animals. And the final way that we can honor our stars, to bless that spirit within us, and to activate that, to engage that spirit, is by spending time in nature. Nature is such a wonderful, patient, and willing, ever-present teacher. So when you're feeling overwhelmed by all the stuff that's out there, look at the beauty that is in nature all around us. Spring is here. As you walk around, you can start to see little bits of the flowers that are starting to blossom. I noticed a tree, a dogwood next door, where the white flowers are starting to open up. So the grass is starting to green up, and there's buds on the trees. Nature is reminding us that seasons change. That yes, there are times when it feels hard and cold like winter, but that changes, and then here's spring. And spring is a time when it's one day it's beautiful and warm, and the next day it's freezing cold. So we have to prepare for each day as it comes. One day in spring you might be wearing a sweater, the next day you put on your shorts. That's how life is right now. One day it seems like we're making progress, and maybe the next day, maybe not. So I want you to remember that the spring is that time of change and transition, shifting sands and turning tides. But in time, that gives way to summer. And then it's hot. And then that yields to the autumn. And then that's another season of change. And then we have winter again. So realize that there are cycles and that there are seasons. Be patient. Nature can remind us of this. Spend time with trees. Trees know how to gather resources. They know how to let go without guilt. Trees know how to open up and accept and receive light. We need to embrace that and to embody that too. So spend time in nature. If you can't go outside, that's okay. Open a window. See the light. Bask for a moment. Appreciate the sun. Remember, even on cloudy days, the sun is still shining. You can't always see it, but it's always there. And that's true in our world right now. You may not today see the answers. You may not see how this will improve, but it will improve. The sun is shining. The solutions are coming. It takes time. We do this together. Nature can show us to live in harmony, to live in communion, to be who we are. And that honors and blesses those stars that comprise us. So, to be that spirit that we are, to be noble and aligned with the stars, we meditate, we create, spend time with animals, and we commune with nature. And I believe that helps us live more fully, more nobly, the spirit that we are. So now let's talk about this earth. Let's be humble and connect with that earth element that we are. Because we are spiritual beings, but we are in these bodies. And now more than ever, honoring that and taking care of these physical bodies is so very important. So let's talk about how we can humbly and truly and genuinely honor our bodies and take care of the physical self. I think the first and most important thing that we can do to be in alignment and to tend to that earth part of us is probably the hardest right now. But what that is to rest. Our way shower and teacher, Jesus, said in the book of Matthew, "Come unto me, all those who are weary, and I will give you rest." I think that's so important right now, to lean into spirit, to recognize that spirit is with us. It's easy to get caught in our heads and to start worrying and get hung up on the anxiety and wanting to know what's going to happen next. And then before we know it, we can't sleep, it's hard to eat, we're keyed up, and then we're exhausted because we're going and trying to control. When we lean into spirit, when we allow ourselves just to rest, to not have to know the answers of the world, but to trust in that wisdom and spirit, then we can tune out, we can release, we can relax and be rejuvenated. But we all need to rest. Every night before I go to bed, I have a mantra where I lay down, close my eyes, and I just start saying, "Thank you, God, thank you, God, thank you, God, thank you, God." And then I affirm, I am yours and yours alone. I am yours and yours alone. I am yours and yours alone. That soothes me, that centers me, but it helps me to remember that it's okay to let go. It's okay to give myself permission to rest. Now, rest maybe is not an 8 hours night of sleep. So maybe rest is taking 5 minutes to close your eyes and unplug from everything that's out there. Maybe rest means you take a little cat nap during the day. Maybe rest means you just sort of zone out. But I urge you and I encourage you to get rest right now. Because when we're rested, we're restored, we're realigned, we're rebalanced, and we need that to honor this earth body that we are. So first we have to rest. I think another important element of rest right now is taking a rest from the news, taking a rest from all the information that's out there. So maybe set a boundary for yourself that at least for a good stretch of time today, you won't listen or tune into anything that has to do with worldly situations. Just take a rest. I've made a pledge to myself that I'll only check the news once a day. I'll read it, observe it, and then move on. And that feels like enough. It feels like it's balanced, so I'm aware of the recommendations, and I can be wise in taking care of myself and my family, but I'm not getting overwhelmed or obsessed. So find what's right for you, but rest, because we need that to honor our bodies. The second thing that's so important when it comes to honoring this earth, tending the earth that we are, is simple, but we all forget to do it, and that is to breathe. I know. So how many times each day do you actually stop and really give yourself a moment or two to breathe? Not or but actually to breathe. The health benefits of breathing are proven and demonstrated throughout numerous studies. Deep breathing reduces our blood pressure, it improves blood flow to our brain, it helps us to relax by activating some of our feel-good hormones and by inviting the parasympathetic nervous system to kick in. Deep breathing can only benefit you, but it's so easy to forget. So what I recommend is set a timer once an hour, a little thing can ding, and then you remember just to breathe, and do that right now. Just breathe. It's effective, it's easy, it's free, you can do it anywhere. No complaints with that. Another thing that I like to do is before I brush my teeth, I just take a few deep breaths. I'm going to be brushing my teeth anyway. I might as well benefit myself with a few deep breaths. Before I eat, I say a prayer and then I breathe. Not only does that slow me down, but it brings me back into my body, helps to improve my blood flow, and then I eat more mindfully because I'm present since I've taken the time to breathe. Breathing is taking in spirit. It's receiving life. It's recognizing that we are here, that we are able to take in, and then we can let go. So breathe. It's a big deal. Remember to breathe. So rest and breathe to tend to this earth that you are. Another thing that's important in honoring our bodies is to visualize, to be aware of what you see. There have been numerous studies that prove how powerful our minds are when it comes to what we see. Our bodies believe what we see. So, because that is true, I encourage you every single day to start engaging in a practice of seeing healthy cells in your body. When you close your eyes, see your heart strong and beating effectively. See your lungs pink and healthy and inflating fully and releasing what they don't need. See those immune cells in your body active and feisty and kicking around. Just see yourself being aligned with spirit, because your body will respond to that. When I first started following all the news cycles, all I was seeing was the images of that virus. So when I would close my eyes, I could see it perfectly. I could draw it if I needed to. And then I stopped myself and I wondered, why am I showing that? Because I'm showing my body what I don't want. And yet I'm memorizing it and I'm encoding it. That's not what I want to see. So I immediately stopped looking at those images and started filling my mind instead, not with pictures, but with the inner vision of that health and that vitality that I really know I'm created to be. I want you to do that too. You don't have to actually think about muscle fibers or get out a Gray's Anatomy book. Just think of fluid, healthy cells and strong muscles and healthy bones. Just activate that because it's powerful and your body will respond to that. Your body believes what your mind perceives. So engage it wisely and use it truly, because your mind is a gift. So you have to use that visualization so that you can see. I think I use a test for myself when it comes to things that I'm going to read, because reading is also seeing. Before I start to read anything, I'll ask myself, is this something that I would read to a child? Is this something that I would want my kids to read? And that really helps me kind of filter through and stop myself from reading things that I can't unsee. or from seeing things that I don't want my mind to believe. So make a test like that for yourself. Would you want to share this with your best friend, or would you tell this to your grandma or your kids? Or it's a nice tool of discernment, and it helps you to be more mindful with what you expose yourself to. So spend a little time resting. Spend some time truly, deeply breathing, and be aware of what you see. These are 3 things that we can do to honor this earth body that we're in. The last thing that I'd like to invite you to do, and encourage you to do when it comes to honoring and tending this earth, is to share. It's really easy when we're engaged in this practice of social isolation to begin to feel lonely and to feel cut off and isolated from life. But I want you to know that even in the practice of being mindful and of respecting what's healthy and the recommendations and following all those guidelines, we can still stay connected. We can still share. And I think now more than ever, it's important to do that. So text, email, call, post, tweet, blast it all out there. If you're having a good day, share the good day. If something inspires you, put it out there. But if you need a little bit of help, ask. None of us need to feel alone right now, because we are in this together. No one person has the answer. There's not one right solution. It's not a one size fits all. But when we can come together, when we can share, when we can lift one another up, when we can remember who we truly are, we will get through this together. Sometimes it's a step back, sometimes it's a step forward, but we will persevere and we will prevail. We will remember the nobility of the stars of which we are formed, and we will honor the earth that we are made of. And when we do this, when we share, when we see, when we breathe, when we rest, when we meditate, create, when we connect with animals and embrace nature, then we will truly remember who we are. We will be the abundant, wonderful, glorious creations of spirit that we are designed to be. So I'd like to leave you today with a quote from The Alchemist. It's a really good book. If you've not had a chance to read it, I encourage you to do so. And the quote is this: "We are travelers on a cosmic journey. We've stopped for a moment to encounter, to love, to meet, and to share. This is a precious moment." These are changing and challenging times, but this moment is precious. Life is a gift. I thank you for sharing this moment with me. I see your light, and I honor that you are divine. Namaste. So now what I'd like us to do is to do a short meditation, just to allow ourselves time to commune with that spirit and to receive all the messages and all the good that we're here to truly embrace. So if you're comfortable, I'd invite you to go ahead and close your eyes and just relax. We're in this together. We can share this moment, or share this for the good. So if you haven't already done so, go ahead now and close your eyes. And then notice your feet on the floor. And I'd like you to consciously and mindfully just make a connection with the earth. The earth loves, supports, accepts, and holds you just as you are. So connect with our beautiful planet. And now relax your legs, Soften up your abdomen. Relax your back. Drop your shoulders. Soften your jaw. Let any tension you might be holding just melt away from your face. Let everything be soft. Relax. This moment right now is enough. Take another deep breath and just let go. Let go. Everything you need is right here, in this moment right now. Let everything else go. What I'd invite you to do now is to imagine you're standing outside. It's a beautiful twilight sky, a gentle breeze, perfect temperature, peace. And as you stand outside, you notice high on the horizon, where the sky is dark, a twinkling star, a shining light, beautiful and bright. Below that shining star, you see the bands of color of the night sky, the light bleeding and fading and mixing with the dark. It's the dance of time. It's eternity. No beginning, no end. Just you in this moment. Connected to that beautiful guiding light, the bright star. And as you focus on that light, that star, you notice that it dances, twinkles. The light is active and expanding. And as you watch that light, you remember that you too shine, expand. You remember that you too are made of light. Created beautifully and wonderfully in love. Take a moment to see your star. Let it shine for you. Let it lift you. Let it guide you. Stand silent in the light with this star. Your little star is twinkling, shining. And right now, in this timeless moment, you remember that you are shining too. And you can let the light, the image, the star just fade away. But even when you don't see it, even when the night is cloudy, even when the skies are gray, the star is shining, bright, a guiding light for you. And bring your attention back to this room, back into your body, back to this time. Very slowly, when you're ready, open your eyes, remembering to be noble, for you're made of stars, to be humble, for you are made of earth. Namaste. Thank you again for joining me. I send you my love. Thank you.